So as I begin with, I would like to say a few things about the curcumin structure. We can see the curcumin structure. This is having polyphenolic background. Terminal compounds are having pi conjugation, and the central region is having this methylene carbon, and this is often a site of very good interactions, and it has been reported in many literature sources for its as a central source for its bioactivities. One thing I want to say that why we have done work on this nanoemulsions, because it has been proposed that bioactivities of curcumin are expressed through its central moiety. So when we take curcumin orally, take turmeric without in a normal way, conventional way, then what happens in the pH changes of our body, they degrade its structure. It undergoes hydrolysis. So we have to protect its structure when curcumin is in our body. So we have to give an environment which retains its structure for a long time, so that its effects are delivered to the body in a proper way. Otherwise it is edible, so why we should not encash this opportunity? So that's why we have used the nanoemulsions, so which serve as a protection medium in the in vivo environment. So in my study, I have used this DPPH. DPPH is a source of free radical, which is creating problems. Whenever we take foods of fatty materials or oily foods, free radicals are normally produced in our body. But if they are produced beyond an extent, they lead to oxidative damage. We need antioxidants at regular intervals that's why we consume in fruits and juicy vegetables, vitamin C also. So to keep the antioxidant functional, we have glutathione also to keep the free radicals in control. So in my study, I have used these emulsifiers, this SDS, sodium dodecyl sulfate. This is non-ionic surfactant, 12 carbon alkyl chain, and a hydrophilic part, terminal group sulfate and sodium ion. And another surfactant I have used is twin 20 and then twin 40. Both twin 20 and twin 40 I have used on the base of their uses in routine applications. Soaps, toothpastes, sunscreen lotions, all have twin 20, and these are FDA permitted. FDA permitted. So that's why we have used twin 20 and twin 40, and we have got good results with twin 20, showing that, proving that excess hydrophobicity is also not good, because when we go from twin 20 to twin 40, hydrophobic alkyl chain length increases. So cottonseed oil, I would like to say a brief about cottonseed oil, because cottonseed oil I have used as dispersion medium. Dispersed paste for my curcumin. Dispersed paste is actually the minor component in the emulsions, solute-like component. So cottonseed oil, these are the fatty acids of cottonseed oil. These are some fatty acids of cottonseed oil. Linoleic, majority component, linoleic acid, oleic acid. We can see that they are polyunsaturated and monounsaturated. Two carbon bonds, carbon double bonds, here only single. Then there is palmitic acid also, others are in minor 20%, stearic acid and myristic acid. Here we have used this method for determining the antioxidant activity through UV visible spectroscopy method. We have done physicochemical activities also in support, proving the dispersion of curcumin. And this A0 here stands for the absorbance of DPPH, and AS stands for the absorbance of our samples, which we make with curcumin nanoformulations of DPPH solutions. For antioxidant activity, we prepare DPPH in ethanol. It is a standard literature method. So 517 nanometer is the characteristic wavelength where DPPH gives the maxima. So we have taken that wavelength. So this is the method how we have prepared our formulations, taking cottonseed oil and then heat in the heated form, and then there are different quantities mixed with ethanol and glycerol. Why we have used ethanol and glycerol? Ethanol is used as a co-solvent. We often heard of some interlocutors, some co-surfactants and co-solvents like molecules which assist in dispersion. So ethanol we have used as co-solvent, and glycerol we have used as co-surfactant, because glycerol is normally acts as a viscosity enhancer. Then we have, after that we have prepared the formulations by stirring on 650 rpm at room temperature for 2 hours. For curcumin loaded formulations, we have taken curcumin mixed cottonseed oil as the dispersed phase in the heated mode because heating keeps the structure activated. We all know that when we provide heating, activation energy decreases. So activation to express curcumin in a larger amount, we have heated the oil and curcumin mixture. This is again something about curcumin structure because these activities are very important when curcumin has expressed its effect in the emulsion environment. We can see here that there is a conjugation of electrons from the terminal ring. This OH group, this loses its H here through the delocalization of electrons, and then this electron density gradual shifts from this end also and this end also. So we can say that this structure is very good. We can say it is a very good nucleophile. So nucleophilic molecule because nucleophilic molecule because the nucleophile is having positive charge, and positive charge is always seeks the negative charge site. So we have literature reports a number of complexes of curcumin with zinc. Zn+2 is binding here. In our study, we have tried to form the complexes of sodium and potassium using the same principle. So this is the result of our DPPH scavenging activities. So we have used NaCl. One thing, the innovation, the unique aspects of our study. We have prepared formulations. We have using cottonseed oil, ethanol, glycerol, and surfactants as I have described. But in this study we have used NaCl and KCl. Another study, basic study was the cottonseed oil and reporting activity in the emulsion environment. In this study, we used NaCl and KCl as additives, and we got further improvement in antioxidant activities. Remarkable improvements because NaCl and KCl both are salts. They are not expected to function as surfactants. But we have come to know that when we add NaCl and KCl, then there is although there is an increase in cohesive forces, but the cohesive forces, they keep water molecules reoriented. And once they keep them reoriented, these cohesive forces no longer function as only cohesive forces. They will become secondary cohesive forces, as I will discuss in the coming slides. So we have used 3 amounts of NaCl, 1.15, 2.30 and 3.45. These amounts were selected on the basis of NIH guidelines, which says that 2.3 gram per day sodium can be consumed by normal human being, whereas those who are hypertensive, they are advised to take less than 1.5 gram. So we got this much activity, and from these graphs it is very clear that in all cases 1.15, 2.30 and 3.45, in all cases almost twin 20 is giving the best result. It shows that twin 20 is having very ideal hydrophobicity because the activity is further not enhanced with twin 40. In twin 40 we have increased the hydrophobicity, although hydrophilic part is same, but the activities got decreased. So it means more hydrophobicity is also not good. So we got good results with twin 20. This was the observation for KCl formulation. For potassium chloride, we also chose 1.75 gram, 3.51 gram and 5.2 gram amounts. These were also chosen as per the NIH guidelines for the recommended intakes for healthy individuals for potassium chloride. And here also we observed that in all cases almost twin 20 gave good results, but the surprising observation was that SDS is giving good results with twin 40 as well as twin 1.75 gram also and 5.2 gram case. In both cases SDS gave good results. So we got good activities of anionic surfactant because the situation is quite different from the previous case where we got good activities with twin 20, which was non-ionic surfactant. Here we got good results with SDS, which is an anionic surfactant. So this is something about pH, because curcumin is a pH sensitive amount. It undergoes pH alkaline degradation at alkaline pH. So in all cases, in all our formulations, we got pH less than 7, which infers that in all our formulations curcumin structure was preserved. It was not structurally degraded. They were effective to preserve its structure. So that's why we got good activities. because in biological compounds, structure is an integral function of activities. So this is some model which was the basic concept of our studies. This is a model based on hydration sphere. What science we dug out from this model is that the sodium cation and potassium cation, although they are both monoionic, Na plus and K plus, but the size of Na plus and Cl, and K plus and Cl, they are very differently matching. Na plus is almost having similar size with chloride, but K plus is having a very large size compared to Cl. So this was the difference in our hydration sphere activities, which gave us the different results. What I wanted to highlight in the previous slide discussion also, that in this central region was attacked by this sodium hydration sphere. This sodium hydration sphere is having the water molecules oriented on a positive surface charge. When this positive surface charge, it approaches this electron density, there is an interaction, positive and negative interaction. So that's why they are able to behave as this. NaCl has helped to retain the curcumin structure, not allowing curcumin to interact here and there. It will specifically assist the activities of curcumin with free radical. Similarly, there was a case of potassium. The configuration, although they are varying in both cases. So this was our model reduction based on the specific surfactant interactions. SDS is having an alkyl chain, as we can see. So this hydrophilic part is aligning more towards this hydrophilic region of curcumin, but this main hydrophobic region where there is less hydrophilicity or it is very localized, the alkyl chains, they orient in that direction. Similarly, for twin 20 and twin 40, we have generalized the aspects. These models have been published in our Royal Society paper. These are some fresh models which we gave in this original study. What these models say, that this SDS, this is SDS interacting with ethanol and glycerol, because ethanol and glycerol both were water soluble. So we have given this representation for ethanol, glycerol and water. So in this hydrophilic region, the ethanol and glycerol molecules have segregated, but in this hydrophobic region, the curcumin has come. These yellow molecules, they stand for curcumin, because what we have attained through these nanoemulsions, that there is a gradient of hydrophilic. There is no hydrophilic and hydrophilicity and hydrophobicity. There is no environment where there is hydrophobicity persisting. No strong hydrophobic interactions. We have tried to convert hydrophobic interactions into moderate hydrophilic and hydrophobic interactions. So that's why we have able to disperse the curcumin in larger surface area, thereby making it more available to the free radical. So similar was the case with twin 20 and twin 40. Here, these are the algorithms we have used for physicochemical analysis: surface tension, viscosity, density, surface tension, viscosity, and this is the new property, frecohesity. Very new property and breakthrough property through surface tension and viscosity interface. Why I explained you that the water molecules, they are secondary cohesive forces. One thing I want to quickly tell you is that this free radical scavenging activity with potassium chloride and SDS combination, KCl SDS combination, 99.06, almost 100% activity we attained. And again, similarly with NaCl SDS, here we can see one thing, that NaCl SDS both have Na plus coming from here and Na plus coming from SDS. So Na plus coming from both sources, it means this SDS Na plus effects are weakened by the NaCl, common ion effect. So even despite that, when the hydration sphere activities are weakened, we have got good results, 94.81, 88.848 and 87.13 free radical scavenging. And we can see the dispersion so well, the 18.16, almost very less value compared to water. Water is having a surface tension value of 71.97. So we have reduced the surface tension by 3/4. Similarly here with SDS, we have reduced, but this is a comparison of our formulations without SDS, without NaCl and KCl. Without NaCl, we were having surface tension this high, and with twin 20 also, but with NaCl and KCl, surface tension was decreased. This proves that NaCl and KCl have acted as pro-surfactants. So this is a model through which I want to show, basically explain you all that what NaCl and KCl have done. usually this is the case that this is the ethanol glycerol molecule combined because they share their hydrophilic domains. Ethanol glycerol here, and because they are mostly hydrophilic, they are having OH group. Water molecules were in bulk. Water molecules they were segregated before along with them. So this ethanol glycerol, this scenario was preventing ethanol glycerol to interact with the curcumin, because ethanol glycerol were highly engaged with the water molecules, and water molecules were also in the bulk. So what we have tried by adding NaCl and KCl, the hydration sphere of Na plus and K plus, they have removed these molecules. And the hydration sphere of Na plus, K plus and Cl minus, they have attracted these water molecules competitively, and when these water molecules they have reduced, then these ethanol glycerol molecules ensembles, they become free to go to the curcumin. And when they become free, they assist in the curcumin monodispersion. They allow the availability of curcumin more to the free radical. So this was our output, 2024, we got this published. This is some digging out the free radical source of curcumin. Because there is often a question of the proton releasing site of the curcumin, whether it is a central site or terminal sites. So we have proposed 3 models. One is the central site. When the central site is working, there is a electronic excitation, and this goes on to leads to the conjugation of electron, and DPPH it probably comes out to here in this region. So, but when we go to this region, the model is very different, and similarly, when there is activity from this region starts, then this is the source of DPPH, this DPPH neutralization, and when activity from this region starts, this is the source of DPPH scavenging. So this is all about the sources which I want to acknowledge, because we were able to do this study based on this project given to us by Gujarat Council of Science and Technology. This was a desalination project, and we optimized a novel methodology to improve the yield of potassium nitrate from the seawater. There we obtained NaCl and KCl in large fractions because seawater is a renewable source. Then we tried to use them in NaCl and KCl in our curcumin formulations. This was the idea behind our work. Thank you. Thank you very much, all the organizers, and special thanks to Dr. Rakesh Kumar Mehta. I am here largely because of him. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, organizing committee and the university authorities. Thank you.
Our next participant is Millie G. Ondalia from National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration.
Good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Millie Gondalia. I am from National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, NIPA, New Delhi. Savidya ya vimuktaye means education is that which liberates. But there are a few questions comes in my mind, which are: does Vidya necessarily leads to sukh or well-being? If education sharpens the intellect, then why do we still see stress and burnout? Is thinking deeply enough to live well? So answer of all these questions falls under the understanding of how cognition is processed, not just how much we think. So the title of my paper is interplay of need for cognition, resilience, and sukh through structural equation modeling. So basically, there are three variables. First is need for cognition, which means motivation or the tendency to enjoy effortful thinking. The second one is resilience, which is the ability to bounce back or a tendency to face an adversity. The third one is the sukh, which is derived from the Bhagavad Gita through the hermeneutical analysis, which is the Triguna framework. And sukh is basically three types of sukh, which is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Sattvic sukh, which is the sukh driven by an inner peace, clarity, harmony, and self-awareness. The second one is the rajasic, which means sukh which is driven by ambition, success, and recognition. Third is tamasic, which is the sukh driven by inertia, procrastination, and avoidance. Now, the objectives of my study are: the first and foremost objective is to analyze the direct relationship between need for cognition and the three forms of sukh, which is rajasic, tamasic, and sattvic. The second is to examine the direct impact of need for cognition on resilience among higher education students. Third is to assess and mediating role of resilience in relationship between need for cognition and the three forms of sukh. Methodology. There are 91 higher education students from the Teacher Education Institute were selected as a sample. Sampling method was the convenience sampling. There are majorly three tools were used. First is validated need for cognition scale. The second, custom developed resilience scale, and third is also the developed sukh scale. And data collected through the Google form. Yes, this table is basically of the hypothesis and the result. I think it won't be visible from there. Yeah. So this is the major part of the study, which is the structural equation modeling. In this, you can see the path coefficient between resilience and NFC, which is about 0.86, which means they both influence each other. The path coefficient between the resilience and the sattvic sukh, which is 0.97, which means they both are highly influence each other. But when we see the path coefficient between resilience and the tamasic sukh, which is 0.02, which means they do not that much not affect each other. The key insight of the study is first, which is NFC, which is need for cognition strongly influence rajasic and sattvic sukh, which fostering the dynamic and harmonious well-being. The second is resilience serves as a critical mediator in these relationships, emphasizing its role in enhancing well-being. The third is minimal connection between need for cognition and tamasic sukh aligns with Indian philosophical distinctions. So from this model, we can I can summarize the whole research. So need for cognition and resilience both are the highly influenced, and that will leads to sattvic sukh. When we have the motivation to think, effortfully think, then we can have the ability to bounce back, and that will ultimately lead to the sattvic sukh. And vice versa, if we do not have the NFC, then we will do not have the resilience, and that will lead to the tamasic sukh, where we have the sukh driven by the inertia or a procrastination. So basically, this is all about the research paper.
Thank you. Our next participant is Acharya Kandar.
Where is the Sukh scale? Have you defined or who is the author of that Sukh scale?
Sir, we are two authors, and we both have done it. Development and validation of the Sukh scale.
Okay, but you will show it here. Where is it?
Sir, it is in the paper.
Okay, it is in the paper. Okay. And why you select only 91 higher education students? Is there any?
Sir, it is a convenient sampling.
Convenient sample. Okay. Okay, no.
Thank you, sir.
Our next participant is Acharya Kandar Umakant from National Institute of Education Planning and Administration, New Delhi.
A very warm welcome to the presentation. So before starting the presentation, I would like to request all of you to join me in an activity. First of all, I would like to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Inhale. Retain. And exhale. Now I think all of your chitta is truly in this presentation. So I again welcome you all to this presentation. So today we are just going to focus on a concept called chit, and that's why I think this presentation or the paper truly aligns and resonates with the theme of this conference. Why? Firstly, the conference has two main words, ancient tradition, and second, modern sciences. So firstly, ancient traditions, that means the traditions which are described in our scriptures, which were described in our livelihood, which we used to live, and that's the chit, which was truly explicitly described in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So I had two choices in past. Firstly, या तो मैं पतंजलि का योग सूत्र जो है वो पढ़ता और उसमें क्या लिखा है वो डिस्क्राइब कर देता, and that would be the one of my research paper. But the approach which I opted for was bringing and diving into the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra and deriving and operationalizing chit, and finally bringing that into life and into the laboratory. So that's where the modern science word comes into the play. So that's how I have connected chitta, the ancient wisdom, with the modern science, that is the structural equation modeling. So I welcome you again in this presentation. Firstly, about the conceptual framework. Basically, it was mentioned in the Yoga Sutra, तदुपरागा अपेक्षितवत चित्तस्य वस्तु ज्ञात अज्ञातम. ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ है जो अगर आपके कंट्रोल में है तभी आप बाकी दुनिया की सारी चीज़ों को या तो जान सकते हो या तो नहीं जान सकते, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड चित्त. It is also mentioned, a resembling concept is mentioned in a Western philosophy as well, which is known as mento-emotional force or mento-emotional energy. But the chit which is mentioned in the Yoga Sutra is truly profound, it's truly deep. So today we are just focusing on chit and not the mento-emotional energy. So let's get into the definition. So basically, chit is defined in this research paper as the accumulation of mana, buddhi and ahankar. That means the antahakaran. So basically, chit is equal to man, buddhi and ahankar or the antahakaran. That's the core definition conceptualized from the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Now, which methodologies were used? That's the main question which might be arising in a researcher's mind. So firstly, the hermeneutical analysis was used. So what is hermeneutical analysis? Basically, whenever any of the scripture or any of the literature in IKS comes to in front of us, so we have two choices. Either we just translate as it is or we interpret it. So basically in hermeneutical analysis, we interpret the Sanskrit or any of the text and try to bring the essence of those words or those literature, and rather than just merely translating those scriptures. So basically, firstly, the hermeneutical analysis helped us to operationalize and interpret 5 forms of chitta from Patanjali's Yoga Sutra into real life. So these are the 5 forms of chitta. You can witness here: Kshipta, Mudha, Vikshipta, Ekagra and Niruddha. So the first part of the research is about the hermeneutical analysis and bringing Kshipta Chit's characteristic, that is the Chanchala, Rajoguna Pradhana, Vishaya Shakta. And then a hermeneutical analysis was conducted, the words were validated by the experts, and finally the operationalized characteristics of those forms of Chitta were brought into the tool called Chitta Bhumi scale. I repeat, a Chitta Bhumi scale was constructed by the researchers that was validated on the basis of the hermeneutical analysis itself. Second form, mood form, Jada, Tamoguna Pradhana and Aviveki. So how it was reflected in any of the student or any of the, we can say, human being? Basically through the characteristics like low alertness and motivation, poor comprehension and engagement, resistance to cognitive effort. The third form, Vikship or the Vichalita Kintu Samartha, means the chitta form जो कभी एकाग्र हो जाता है, जो कभी restless हो जाता है. That is basically known as the विक्षिप्त चित्त. थर्ड, एकाग्र चित्त. हम हमेशा बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं एकाग्र चित्त बनो, एकाग्र चित्त बन के पढ़ाई करो. But what actually is this एकाग्र चित्त? So it is एक तत्वे स्थितः सत्व प्रधान. And what are the educational characteristics? Sustained concentration, deep processing of knowledge, optimal state for learning and reflection. This was also derived through the hermeneutical analysis. And the final Niruddha state, which almost all the sages aim for. It is next to impossible for a man to attain this stage. तो ये स्टेज अटेन करने के बाद आपका चित्त जो है वो एक ऐसी अवस्था में जा सकता है जहाँ से वापस फिर विक्षिप्त अवस्था में या तो रेस्टलेस अवस्था में आना नामुमकिन हो जाता है. सो इट इज नियर और टेंड्स टू इम्पॉसिबल फॉर अ ह्यूमन टू अचीव निरुद्ध स्टेट. पूर्ण वृत्ति निरोध युक्त, एंड इट इज ऑल्सो मेंशन इन भगवद गीता, योग चित्त वृत्ति निरोध. यानी कि योग जो हम करते हैं उसका मेन एम ही है चित्त की सारी जो वृत्ति है उसका निरोध करना, एंड टू इरेडिकेट दी टेंडेंसीज और एक्टिविटीज ऑफ चित्त. तो योग का मेन एम ये है. So this was all about the theoretical aspect or the hermeneutical analysis of chit. But the second main part is very interesting. How we have brought into the modern science or into the laboratories or in the real life. So now about the methodology. So the methodology also resembles with the previous presentation as well. 103 UG and PG students of IIT were the sample for this study. Self-constructed Chitta Bhumi scale, which was validated by the experts. And these were the data collection tool, data analysis tool and data analysis techniques. So mainly as it was a new concept, and whenever a new concept or new tool emerges, there is a prerequisite for exploratory factor analysis first, because how many factors are there possible that needs to be first studied. So firstly exploratory factor analysis, shortly known as EFA, was conducted, and 5 main factors emerged which truly resembles with the 5 forms of chitta. Then a confirmatory factor analysis, CFA, was conducted, and that confirmed that yes, these 5 forms of chitta are reflected in the data or the responses which we have collected. And finally the structural equation modeling part. So these are the results for the study. I hope it's really visible. Firstly, KMO or the Kaiser-Meyer-Olkins test was used it is used for sampling adequacy. So basically structural equation modeling is an advanced statistical technique mainly used when we can say there are variables which are independent and dependent both at the same time. So firstly, KMO provided the result of 0.691, which is merely acceptable threshold value. Then we have Bartlett test, it was also significant. And basically, if I have to provide a crux of this, then EFA and CFA provided a significant result and proved that सच में जो पतंजलि जी ने योग सूत्र में बात की है चित्त की, it's not about just a mere shloka or mere literature. It can be brought into real life, which are sages and the peoples used to live in their day-to-day life in the past, and we too can do the same. And the final and the beauty of the Indian knowledge system, again, this is a structural equation modeling of 5 forms of chitta. Here you can witness, these are the 5 forms: Kshipta, Vikshipta, Mudha, Ekagra and Niruddha. These are known as the latent factors because they can't be observed directly. So they were measured through the indicators, or in a layman language we can call the items of the tools. So these are the items of the tools, and this is the measurement model, while this is the structural model. And you can witness that if a person has Ekagra Chitta state, then there are tendency of 0.59 to enter into a Niruddha state. So this is what exactly Maharishi Patanjali also mentioned in the Yoga Sutra. This was well validated from the data of the student itself. And similarly, if a person is in a vikship or a chit, that is the restless state of a mind or a chitta, then there is a high tendency of 0.42 to enter into the mood or the torpid form of a mind. So that's what the gems of Indian knowledge system, which were truly found in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. And reliability and validity. So basically it's a truly novel field of study and truly novel study. So reliability was established, and Kronberg's alpha value lied between 0.69 to 0.77, which is an acceptable value. AVE also is greater than 0.50 for all the construct. So basically, what are the constructs? 5 forms of chitta are known as construct in a research methodology. So all the forms of chitta were adequately and sufficiently measured through a tool, and that's proved through these results. And what they demonstrates: internal consistency, convergent validity, and scale is psychometrically sound. So final about the findings. So 4 main findings are there. Firstly, the findings is first empirical validation of Chitta Bhumis. There were no previous study on the domain of Chit, and especially validating or assessing the forms of Chitta. So this is the first and novel field of study. Secondly, bridges yogic psychology and modern psychometric analysis, as I have discussed in the very beginning. And third, introduces a culturally rooted measurement tool. And fourth, scope for future researches. With this, finally, I welcome all the questions and appreciations and suggestions. Thank you.
Where we can use this research?
So basically, as of now, the sample for this study was students, because
Yes, tell me.
yeah, basically the sample for this study was the students, because this study was in a very nascent phase. But as we have validated that Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is not about the literature, then we can apply the same study and the same tool onto varied population as well.
Basically, your research is based on the theoretical aspect of the study. What was done by the Patanjali? Okay, that's fine. But what is the applicability of this research? Because ultimately, whatever we are doing, if we do a research, there should be some use in the society. There should be some use from the policy perspective. So I am lacking these 2 parts, because you already whatever you have taken is from the only theoretical base. Okay, but what is the ultimate output?
Sir,
That is
basically,
Yeah.
सर बेसिकली पतंजलि जी ने योग सूत्र को हमने अच्छे से पढ़ा है. 2 बातें की है. फर्स्टली अबाउट द चित्त स्टेट विच वी हैव स्टडीड इन दिस स्टडी, एंड सेकेंडली उसकी क्या इम्प्लीकेशंस है कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति पर्टिकुलर चित्त स्टेट में है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल एकाग्र और निरुद्ध, एंड स्पेशली लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द स्टूडेंट्स. If the students are in Ekagra or Niruddha state, then the learning outcome can be at the peak. So this study provides a foundation that yes, Chit actually exists and Chit can be assessed. So further it opens the door for future researches that students का क्या चित्त का लेवल है वो assess करके students के learning outcome को हम बढ़ा सकते हैं.
Okay, that's what I want to know. कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं? Because whatever you are saying, it's just based on the Patanjali's. But what is your inputs? What is your inputs? आपका inputs क्या है इसमें?
Sir, I don't get
Because
it.
whatever you narrate is just based on the literature aspect. From the literature, what is your inputs? What you are creating? How you will utilize this 5 chittas for the practical knowledge perspective for the IKS, or we can use in industry from the university, because you know very well nowadays the rate of suicide is going on every institution. The students are suicide in every institution. So how can you correlate your research with this social drawbacks of our education institutes?
Sir, it is clearly mentioned in the paper itself कि चित्त को अगर एक अवस्था में लेके आए तो उसके क्या क्या आउटकम्स हो सकते हैं, बट इट इज़ नॉट मेंशन इन द पीपीटी. फॉर एग्जांपल, एज आई हैव मेंशन्ड वेरी शॉर्टली दैट योगा चित्त वृत्ति निरोध. सो इट वाज elaborated extensively in the paper itself कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति योग कर रहा है, फॉर एग्जांपल योगा नॉट अबाउट द आसनास, योगा इन अ प्रॉपर फॉर्म, then the चित्त की जो वृत्ति है, the tendency of restless mind can be eradicated and then it can benefit to a larger population. So it is extensively mentioned in the paper itself.
चित्त बताया आपने, एकाग्र बताया. एकाग्र होने के क्या करना पड़ेगा, इसमें आपने कोई इनपुट्स नहीं दिए हैं कि क्या किस तरह का. हम योग सब जान रहे हैं, योग है, किस तरह का योग करना है, योग की कौन सी वो कंडीशन है जिसमें कि हम उस कंडीशन को प्राप्त करेंगे तो हम एकाग्रचित हो सकते हैं.
सर बेसिकली रिसर्च में कुछ ऐसा होता है कि फर्स्ट होता है एक्सप्लोरेटरी रिसर्च या तो डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च, जो है हम उसको एज इट इज़ एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं, डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं. सो ये एक्सपेरिमेंटल रिसर्च नहीं है कि अगर आपको चित्त को ये करना है तो आपको ये करना पड़ेगा. वो अलग एक रिसर्च की स्टडी हो सकती है कि अगर आपको चित्त को कंट्रोल करना है तो सो एंड सो योगा कैन बी देयर, बट बेसिकली दिस इज द फाउंडेशनल रिसर्च कि चित्त की इतनी अवस्था है, चित्त को असेस किया जा सकता है और चित्त के जो 5 फॉर्म है उनके बीच में ये रिलेशनशिप है. दैट्स व्हाट द रिसर्च इज ऑल अबाउट.
चित्त को एकाग्र करने के लिए कौन कौन सी विधि है, अगर इसको भी आप अपने में डालेंगे तो ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा.
Yes sir, that can be explored in the future as well, but as of now we have reached this stage only.
The time given to the participants.
आपने 103 सैंपल लिए थे and some equation name. So any particular equation or just only just name?
Actually it's a structural equation modeling. It's a advanced psychometric data analysis technique itself. So it's not an equation, it's a method to analyze the data itself.
And how to validation? Because maybe it's a statistical equation. Is it a statistical equation?
Not particularly. The graph which you have seen, sir, that is the structural equation modeling graph, and that graph itself is a SEM.
Okay. Thank you.
The time given to each participant is 3 minutes only. Please take care of this. And our next participant is Dr. Shreya Modi from Gandhinagar University.
Good afternoon, respected everyone. I am Dr. Shreya Modi from Gandhinagar University, and today I want to just discuss my research work on synergistic effects on traditional Indian medicinal plants and antibiotics in combating antimicrobial resistance. So these are some data. Actually, antibiotics as well as the antimicrobial resistance, it is a very important global concern for the today's era. Around 10 million people are died due to the such kind of the antimicrobial resistance, And of course, we all know the advancement of the medical science, but still around last 5 years or 7 years, I think around 1 or 2 antibiotics have got approval, okay, for the commercialization. So what I mean to say, actually research is moving towards the alternative that to combat the antimicrobial resistance. So how can we forget the corona? दुनिया भर के काढ़े हमने पूरी लाइफ टाइम के काढ़े जो डिटॉक्सिन्स वगैरह है वो कोरोना के टाइम पे हमने पी लिए है, राइट? जस्ट टू इम्प्रूव द इम्यूनिटी. So of course such kind of the natural medicines, okay, so it's having huge market, billions of market all around the world. So it's not the new technology. Actually we are shifting towards the Ayurveda as well as some home remedies that our ancestors had already used. So during our research we have combined Indian knowledge system as well as the advanced antibiotics, okay, to combat the antimicrobial resistance. So we have developed the synergistic effect to combat the antimicrobial resistance. So what would be the advantages, okay, of such kind of the development? So of course we can combat the resistance. Apart from this, as we are using such kind of the natural medicines, medicinal plants, so of course they would be not have any side effects. They will boost our immunity as well as it's having multiple mode of actions, okay. So within us, not a single disease, but we can also cure numbers of diseases as well as to boost our immunity. So of course, numbers of products are available in the market, okay. For example, if I talk about the Gandhinagar, so its market has of course raised after the corona. As of now, its worth is about 500 crore per year. उतना वो income करता है just, okay, using such kind of the detoxin. So we have gone through such kind of the literature review and we have just planned this work. So we have collected medicinal plant samples. We have prepared its dry powder and we have prepared extraction using the different solvents like the distilled water, methanol, ethanol as well as the chloroform, because plants are having numbers of phytochemicals. And these all our phytochemicals are having different properties for the dissolution. So numbers of different solvents were used for extract preparation. Then after we have gone through its physico-phytochemical analysis, qualitative as well as the quantitatives, and using the agar-well method, we had studied antimicrobial analysis and we have combined. We have just isolated specific plant extract. We have identified potential plant extract as well as the potential antibiotic. We have taken its 1:1 proportions for the further analysis, and thus we conducted the synergistic study. So these are the plants that we had choose. Okay, we had worked on during the study. Actually, research should be available to everyone. It should be affordable to everyone. So we have choose such kind of the plants on the basis of the availability as well as the affordability. So you can see that of course the 100 gram of such kind of the medicinal plants, of course they are easily available in our home, easily available in the market, as well as their price, of course it is under 100 rupees. Okay, so during the study we had taken giloy, muletti, cinnamon as well as the ginger. These are some methodology that how we conducted the physicochemical as well as the antimicrobial study. For the synergistic effect, we have of course at 1:1 proportion. These are the results for phytochemical analysis. So we found the presence of the steroids, alkaloids, phenols and other important phytochemicals in all the different kind of the plants. These are the results for the antimicrobial activity. I am just going through the summary. Yes, this is the summary of antimicrobial as well as the synergistic effect results. So we got best results for the cinnamon, for the Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Okay, and distilled water extraction was of course suitable for that purpose, and we got the 29 mm of the diameter for the antimicrobial results. And during the research, we have selected this for bacteria, and we have using the specific methods we have selected specific potential plant extract and effective antibiotic using the Kirby method, and we again found the best result with for the E. coli bacteria, having the combinations of cinnamon as well as the ciprofloxacin. So we have got almost double mode of actions while we combine such kind of the medicinal plants with the effective antibiotics. So such kind of the research, such kind of the approaches can reduce the use of the antibiotics in future. So mainly, of course, whatever the plants we have chosen during the study, so of course they follow the IKS, particularly in the Ayurveda, and this kind of plants, of course, since past, they are used to manage numbers of infections, inflammation, as well as to cure immune-related disorders. And of course, such kind of the approaches can reduce the side effects, can reduce the antibiotic doses, as well as they also boost our immunity. And in the future, of course, we can integrate nanotechnology, because nanoparticles are also require any small amount, and of course, as they are the metal nanoparticles, resistance would be not possible. Okay, so of course we can in the near future, okay, we will plan to work to have integration of the nanotechnology within such kind of the approach, as well as we will also proceed for the detailed mechanisms of the mode of action of such kind of the approaches. These are my references. Thank you.
Next participant is Vaidya Rakesh Salve from Arihant Ayurvedic Medical College and Research Institute.
Good afternoon, everybody, respected guests, organizing committee. Myself, Vaidya Rakesh Salve. I am from Ayurvedic background, and it was good to hear something about Ayurveda in the previous presentation, because if we talk about IKS and Ayurveda, नाम नहीं सुनते तो थोड़ा मुझे और लगता. Right. So my presentation today is relevance of Rutucharya. It is a unique concept of Ayurveda, which is seasonal regimen. And I have tried to compare it with the festivals which we generally follow in India. Right? Thank you. Next, please. Sorry. Yeah, so if you consider the year, जिसे हम संवत्सर कहते हैं, right? That year is generally divided into two parts, Dakshinayana and Uttarayan. I think these words are now commonly used by everybody, and I think everybody is quite used to hear these words, right? So अभी Uttarayan शुरू हुआ है, right? And specifically seasonal regimen जो है वो हम इसमें थोड़ा सा कंपेयर करने की कोशिश करने वाले हैं. This is a year. There are two types of ayanas. One is Dakshinayana and Uttarayan. One is the ayan which gradually increases your strength, and one is the ayan which generally reduces your strength. So your body depends, and that is what is the perfect equilibrium between human being and nature. नेचर में जो चेंजेस होंगे वो सभी चेंजेस आपके बॉडी में धीरे धीरे होते रहते हैं, एंड एवरीबडी हैज लेस और सम ऑफ द अदर कॉन्शियसनेस की ये सब चेंजेस हम में हो रहे हैं, एंड वी हैव टू रिस्पेक्ट दैट. एंड इफ वी रिस्पेक्ट एंड वी मेक नेसेसरी चेंजेस इन आवर फूड एंड रेजिमेंट, वी डेफिनेटली प्रिवेंट आवरसेल्फ फ्रॉम फॉलिंग इल ऑन एंड ऑन, राइट? सो दो वर्ड्स है उसमें. फर्स्ट इज ऋतु. ऋतु इज टाइम, ऑफ कोर्स सीजन, एंड चर्या इज बिहेवियर, बट अ मोर प्रॉपर apt word is Shastra Niyamit Achar, means whatever is indicated by Ayurveda, we have to follow that. That is Charya. 6 seasons, we can start from Shishir, Vasant, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad and Hemant. ये dates मैंने इस साल के लिए है, just to make you sure कि कब कौन सा season शुरू होने वाला है, because since last 20-25 years in Ayurveda, I have come across कि we live in India. We follow Ayurveda, but we follow it unconsciously somewhere. We are not aware that we are following it. So, आज के presentation के बाद अगर इतना भी मैं कर सकूँ कि you are following the festivals consciously कि हम festival क्यों मना रहे हैं, so that will be a successful presentation for me, right? So these are the dates. शिशिर अभी वसंत शुरू होगा, ग्रीष्म, वर्षा, शरद and हेमंत. First 3 are उत्तरायण, जहाँ पे हमारा जो बल है या स्ट्रेंथ है या पावर है वो थोड़ी कम होती जाएगी. नेक्स्ट विल बी दक्षिणायन. दिस इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट बिकॉज फ्रॉम द हेल्थ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू उत्तरायण में शिशिर ऋतु में सबसे ज़्यादा स्वास्थ्य होते हैं. वी आर द मोस्ट हेल्थी इन दैट इट ग्रेजुअली रिड्यूसेस अग्नि नाम की जो एक कंसेप्ट है अवर डाइजेस्टिव power, fire, or whatever our power of metabolism is. Whatever we eat, it should be converted into something which is applicable and assimilable for the body. उसी को हम अग्नि कहते हैं. That is a strength. This is what I want to stress upon कि बाहर के दुनिया में या बाहर nature में these are the three powers: air, fire, and maybe कूलनेस, राइट. और उसकी जो हमारे बॉडी में जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स दिए, एनर्जी लेवल्स दिए, उसे हम वात पित्त कफ कहते हैं. एंड दीज आर द थ्री स्टेजेस. जो बीच की रेड स्टेज है दैट इज मोर डिफिकल्ट फॉर अस टू बैलेंस, और वो उसमें हम बीमार पड़ने के चांसेस हमें ज़्यादा होते हैं. सो थोड़ा वसंत के बारे में बात करके मैं आगे जाऊँगा ऑफकोर्स, राइट. आप बाहर देखोगे तो यही सारी चीज़ें वसंत में होती है. द नाइट स्टार्ट्स डिक्रीजिंग, द डेज स्टार्ट इंक्रीज, टाइम वार्मनेस बढ़ता है, स्काई क्लियर होता है, एयर वार्म एंड ड्राई होती है, और शरीर में जो कफ नाम का जो ताकत या दोष है वो बढ़ता है. उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए इफ यू जस्ट थोड़े से अगर हम कॉन्शियस देखें तो ये 3 फेस्टिवल्स हम उस सीजन में जनरली मनाते हैं. उत्तरायण आता है, वसंत पंचमी आती है और होली आती है. दीज आर द फेस्टिवल्स विच आर प्रैक्टिकली एम्ड, और मैं तो कहूँगा कि वो डिज़ाइन किए गए हैं just to keep that प्रकोपित कफ into control, right. इसलिए अगर आप ये देखोगे तो ये सारी चीज़ें हमारे फूड में कहने के लिए कहा है कि थोड़ा सा घी रखना है. फूड शुड बी स्वीट, बिटर एंड एस्ट्रिंजेंट. अवॉइड सॉल्टी, पंजेंट एंड सोर. अवॉइड कर्ड एंड स्टीपिंग ड्यूरिंग द डे. ये सारी चीज़ें ऐसी है कि जो कफ को बढ़ाती है, और कफ ऑलरेडी आपके शरीर में बढ़ने वाला है. और इसी सीजन में वी सी मोर पेशेंट्स आर रिलेटेड टू कॉमन कोल्ड, एलर्जिक अस्थमास, एवरीथिंग, राइट. सो ये कहीं पे हम प्रैक्टिकली एक्सपीरियंस करते. हम कहने से अच्छा मैं तो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिकली एक्सपीरियंस करता बिकॉज आई एम फ्रॉम आयुर्वेद. तो मुझे वो दृष्टिकोण नहीं है कि सामने पेशेंट आता है तो वी जनरली टेंड टू दैट सिचुएशन कि दिस इज वसंत ऋतु. उसके बाद वर्षा पे थोड़ी बात करूँगा मैं, जो रेनी सीजन है. रेनी सीजन में आवर स्ट्रेंथ एंड इम्यूनिटी इज द लीस्ट मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. जहाँ पे मैं थोड़ा आगे स्किप करता हूँ, तो डाइजेस्टिव पावर इज द वीकेस्ट. तो अगर डाइजेस्टिव पावर वीकेस्ट है तो जनरली एज ए फिजिशियन आई वुड सजेस्ट द पेशेंट टू ईट लेस. तो अगर ईट लेस करना है तो ये वहाँ पे शुरू होता है जहाँ पे हम जनरली उपवास करते हैं. तो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि जब हम उपवास करते हैं तो हमें पता होना चाहिए कि उपवास इसलिए वहाँ पे शायद सेट किया गया है सो दैट वी टेंड टू ईट लेस नॉर्मली. अगर हम कम खाएंगे तो वो अच्छा डाइजेस्ट होगा तो इंडाइजेशन से रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं होगी. एवरीथिंग स्टार्ट्स विद इंडाइजेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू आयुर्वेद, राइट. शरद पे बात करेंगे लास्ट बिकॉज आई हैव ओनली 8 मिनट्स. ये जो शरद ऋतु है वो जो बीच का दोष था पित्त, उसके प्रकोप का सीजन है. उसमें सन हॉट होता है, स्काई क्लियर है, डाइजेस्टिव पावर मॉडरेट है. ये जो घास मिलती है ना, दूर्वा जिसे हम कहते हैं, वो पर्टिकुलरली उसी सीजन में आती है. और मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है उसका डायरेक्ट रिलेशन यहाँ पे आता है, यहीं पे हम उसे यूज़ करते हैं, राइट. तो प्रैक्टिकली आई थिंक कि ये नेचर के साथ हमने फेस्टिवल सेट किए हैं. शरद ऋतु में पित्त बढ़ता है. पित्त एक उष्ण या गर्म एनर्जी है, उसे बैलेंस करने के लिए ये हम करते हैं. आई थिंक सो, राइट. हम जिसे कैसे करते हैं वो प्रैक्टिकली बहुत अलग है, बट सजेशन ये है कि यू हैव टू बी अवेक इन द नाइट सो दैट ये जो चांद है या चंद्र है जो शीतलता देता है, ठंडक देता है, उसके ज़्यादा कांटेक्ट में रहना है. और ये पूर्णिमा आती है, उस पूर्णिमा के नाम में भी है. इट्स अ वेरी, मतलब मुझे तो हमेशा फैसिनेटिंग लगता है कि उसका नाम भी कोजागरी है. कोजागरी का मतलब होता है कौन कौन जाग रहा है. इट वॉज अ टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन यू आर आस्किंग कि कौन कौन जाग रहा है. जागने की ही रात होती है वो, इसलिए इट्स लाइक कोजागरी पूर्णिमा. उसमें ऐसी चीज़ें खाने के लिए कहा है कि जो हमारे शरीर में पित्त दोष को कम करेगी, राइट. सो ये फेस्टिवल्स है यहाँ से मैंने, और टिपिकली ये 3 ही सीजन इसलिए लिए क्योंकि ये कफ का प्रकोप का सीजन है, ये वायु के प्रकोप का सीजन है, और ये पित्त के प्रकोप की सीजन से इसमें ये फेस्टिवल्स आते हैं. एंड जनरली अगर आप देखोगे तो बाकी के सीजन्स में ज़्यादा फेस्टिवल्स नहीं है. गर्मी में हम कोई फेस्टिवल्स नहीं करते जनरली, बिकॉज गर्मी में अकॉर्डिंग टू आयुर्वेद कोई दोष प्रकोप नहीं होता है. ठंडी में भी अगर आप देखोगे ना, दिसंबर जनवरी में कोई बड़ा फेस्टिवल नहीं आता. नवंबर दिसंबर इन्हीं सीजन्स के आसपास ये दोष बढ़ते हैं, और उन दोषों को शायद कंट्रोल में रखने के लिए आवर एंसेस्टर्स हैज गिवन अस a present in the form of festivals. So I think यही लास्ट स्लाइड होगी मेरी. यस, मुझे इतना ही मैसेज फॉलो करना था आपके पास कि जब भी हम फेस्टिवल्स देखेंगे तो ऑफकोर्स उसका एक रिलीजियस बैकग्राउंड होता है, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू आयुर्वेद उसका एक हेल्दी बैकग्राउंड होता है. और जब भी आप फेस्टिवल करोगे इसके आगे तो आई थिंक कॉन्शियसली इफ यू फॉलो इट विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प यू टू स्टे मोर हेल्दी. थैंक यू. थैंक यू.
आयुर्वेद जहाँ तक माना जाता है कि भारत का ही विषय है, क्योंकि और भी फेस्टिवल है जैसे ईद है, क्रिसमस है, ये विपरीत परिस्थिति में आता है. क्या यहाँ पे इस पे कभी आपने नहीं किया आयुर्वेद का प्रयोग?
सर ऋतुचर्या का मैं फेस्टिवल के साथ कोरिलेशन कर रहा हूँ ना, वो इसलिए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि ऋतु है ना, 6 ऋतु है या 5 ऋतु है, वो स्पेसिफिकली हमारे इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में ही देखे जाते हैं. तो आई थिंक वो जो फेस्टिवल्स हमारे यहाँ पे सेट हुए हैं वो उसके साथ डेफिनेटली कोरिलेट करेंगे. बाकी के फेस्टिवल्स का आई डाउट कि वो कोरिलेट होंगे या नहीं होंगे.
नहीं, आपको बहुत अच्छा था प्रेजेंटेशन.
थैंक यू. यस मैडम.
I am confused that what exactly your research, or in simplified word, what is your contribution?
I don't have any contribution in this. My contribution is just it is a fundamental research. I have read my books, I am seeing patients, and I am trying to correlate both the sciences. Because somewhere our knowledge system is just sitting in the books. और practically हमें पता नहीं कि वो हम practically follow कर रहे हैं. तो मेरा contribution इतना है कि I am just acting as a messenger to give that knowledge up to you, but bring that knowledge to you. Thank you.
Our next participant is Rajul Ben Dilip Bhai Bhatt, Sabarmati University, Ahmedabad.
ઉપસ્થિત મહાનુભાવો, મારા સાથી મિત્રો, આપ સૌને મારા વંદન. હું રાજુલ ભટ્ટ, સાબરમતી યુનિવર્સિટીમાંથી અભ્યાસ કરું છું. આજનો મારો પેપરનો મુખ્ય વિષય છે પ્રાચીન ભારતીય ગ્રંથોમાં પર્યાવરણ નીતિશાસ્ત્ર. આની શરૂઆત કરતા પહેલા ભગવદ્ ગીતા આપણી સાથે જોડાયેલી છે અને ક્યાંક આપણે બધાએ જાણીએ છીએ કે આપણી પાસે જેટલા પણ પ્રશ્નો આપણી આસપાસ જેટલા પણ ઘેરાયેલા છે, જેની સાથે આપણે જીવન જીવી રહ્યા છે, એનો ઉકેલ ભગવદ્ ગીતામાં આપેલો છે. ભગવદ્ ગીતાનું કોઈ એક પેજ તમે જ્યારે ઓપન કરો, તમે જે સમસ્યામાં છો અને રેન્ડમલી તમે કોઈ એક પેજ ઓપન કર્યું અને એમાંથી કોઈ એક શબ્દ, એક વિચાર જ્યારે તમારી પરિસ્થિતિ સાથે આકાર લે છે અને એમાં તમને ઉકેલ જો મળી જતો હોય તો એટલું કહી શકાય જીવન અત્યારે આપણે જીવી રહ્યા છીએ, જેમાંથી આપણે બધા પસાર થઈ રહ્યા છે, એના ઉકેલ તો અગાઉથી આપી જ દીધેલા છે. એટલે હવે જે આપણે કરવા જઈ રહ્યા છીએ, જેના તરફ આપણો વિકાસ આગળ થંભી રહ્યો છે, તો એમાં એવું તો શું કરીએ કે બંનેનું બેલેન્સ જળવાય. આ બંનેનું બેલેન્સ એટલે કે પર્યાવરણનું પણ બેલેન્સ જળવાય, માનવ જીવન છે એનું પણ બેલેન્સ જળવાય અને સાથે સાથે કુદરત જેની સાથે સતત આપણે કંઈક ને કંઈક ઈચ્છીએ છીએ. કદાચ કોરોના કાળમાં જે ઓક્સિજનના બોટલ લેવા માટે જે મિત્રો ગયા હશે એને ત્યારે જ સમજાવ્યું હશે કે કદાચ પાણીના બોટલ લેવા સરળ છે. અને એ સમયે જે કુદરતે આપણને લેસન આપ્યો છે એ લેસન કદાચ આ જિંદગીમાં તો ક્યારેય આપણે નહીં જ ભૂલીએ. એટલે કૃષ્ણ ભગવાને ખૂબ સરસ વાત કરી છે કે હંમેશા સુદર્શન ચક્ર સાથે હોવાનો ફાયદો એ છે કે લોકો શરૂઆતથી જ તમારી વાંસળી શાંતિથી સાંભળે છે. એટલે ક્યાંક જે ગોઠવાયેલું છે એને આપણે ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક એનું સંતુલન જે છે એને ખોરવેલું છે. અને એના માટે જ આજે આટલા મહાનુભાવો વચ્ચે જ્યારે હું મારી રજૂઆત કરી રહી છું અને એમના થકી મને કદાચ જાણવા મળશે કે હું કુદરતને કેવી રીતે કોઈ પણ જાતનો હસ્તક્ષેપ કર્યા વગર એની સાથે જોડાયેલી રહું, એની સાથે મારો પરિવાર જોડાયેલો રહે. કદાચ હું શરૂઆત કરીશ તો મારા પછીનો જે વર્ગ છે, જે સમૂહ છે, એ એની સાથે જોડાશે. તો એની એક રજૂઆત કરવા માટે હું અહીંયા આવી છું. મારું મુખ્ય ટાઇટલ છે પ્રાચીન ભારતીય ગ્રંથોમાં પર્યાવરણ નીતિશાસ્ત્ર. ભારતીય જ્ઞાન પ્રણાલી IKSમાં પર્યાવરણ નીતિશાસ્ત્ર ટકાઉપણું અને એક મજબૂત માળખું આપણને પૂરું પાડે છે. પ્રાચીન શાણપણને આધુનિક વૈજ્ઞાનિક જરૂરિયાતો સાથે જોડે છે. વેદ, ઉપનિષદ, અન્ય શાસ્ત્રીય ગ્રંથોમાં નૈતિક પાયાની શોધ કરેલી છે, જેમાં ધર્મ, અહિંસા અને પ્રકૃતિ જેવા ખ્યાલ આપણને ક્યાંક બીજ રૂપે મળેલા જ છે. એક મિત્ર બજારમાં સફરજન લઈને ફરે છે. આ વાત એટલા માટે રજૂ કરું છું કે કુદરત સાથે ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક આ વિચાર જોડાયેલો છે. એ સફરજન જોતાની સાથે તમારા અને મારા જેવો જે વર્ગ છે એમ કહે છે કે આ તો સડેલું છે, હવે આ કશા કામનું નથી, એને તું ફેંકી દે. ફરી પાછો બીજો કોઈ એક વર્ગ છે એની પાસે જાય છે અને ત્યાં રજૂઆત કરે છે કે શું આ સફરજન ફરી કામમાં લાગી શકશે? એમાંથી કોઈ એક મિત્ર જે પરિસ્થિતિને સમજી શકે છે કે હજુ સફરજન કોવાયું છે, એના બીજ કોવાયા નથી. જો એ બીજને ફરી આપણે ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક બીજા રોપણ કરીશું તો બીજા અનેક સફરજન આપણી પેઢી ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક એને એ સફરજન સુધી પહોંચી શકશે. એને કેવી રીતે આગળ લઈ જવા એનો ખ્યાલ એને સ્પષ્ટ રહેશે. એટલે સાહેબ તમે ક્યાંક જોયું હશે કે અત્યારે જે ન્યૂઝપેપર આવે છે, ન્યૂઝપેપરમાં તુલસીના પાનના પેલા બીજ આપવામાં આવે છે અને એવું કહે છે કે તમે એને ક્યાંક મેશ કરો જમીનમાં તો બીજા ઘણા બધા તુલસીના છોડ તમે ઉત્પન્ન કરી શકશો. અને આ જ વસ્તુ સમજવાની જરૂર છે કે જો આપણે શરૂઆત કરીશું તો કદાચ પ્રકૃતિનું જે સંતુલન છે એ ખૂબ સારી રીતે જળવાશે. અને એટલે જ અત્યારે આમ તો બપોરના સમયે જ અમારા વિસ્તારમાં, હું આણંદથી છું સાહેબ અને આમ ડાકોરથી છું, કૃષ્ણની નગરીમાંથી આવું છું અને સ્વચ્છતા સાથે ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક જોડાયેલી છું. આપણે બધા અત્યારે એક સરસ મજાનું ગીત સાંભળીએ છીએ, ગાડીવાલા આયા. યસ, પૂરું તમે કર્યું એ મને ગમ્યું. હવે જો આ એક એવો કહેવાય ને કે એક એવું મ્યુઝિક આપણી અંદર છે કે એમાં આપણને એટલી જ ખબર પડે છે કે હું કચરો ભેગું કરીશ તો જ એને કચરાવાળો જે ભાઈ આવે છે એને હું આપી શકીશ. આ ખ્યાલ કેમ લાવવો પડ્યો? અત્યારે આપણે એવું છે કે આની પહેલાં શું આની પેઢી કચરો નથી ફેંકતી? હા કે ના? આખું માથું જ હલે છે એટલે હું એને હા જ લઉં છું. આની પહેલાં પણ પેઢી કચરો ફેંકતી જ હતી, કચરાને યોગ્ય જગ્યાએ નિકાલ કરતી જ હતી. અને એ પેઢી એવી હતી કે કદાચ એને સિગ્નેચર કરતાં પણ નહોતું આવડતું, એ અંગૂઠા છાપ હતો, પણ એને એટલી ખબર હતી કે કચરો ક્યાં ફેંકવું. આપણે તો એવું છે કે જે મંદિરમાં ખૂબ ભીડ હોય ને એ ભગવાન પ્રસન્ન થયેલા છે, એટલે કે જ્યાં કચરો વધારે નાખેલો હોય ને ત્યાં આપણે હોંશે હોંશે નાખીએ. કેમ કે અહીંયા નાખવાનું આપણને એક લાયસન્સ મળી ગયેલું છે. આવું ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક ચાલે છે. શા માટે? આ કચરા માટેનો જે કોન્સેપ્ટ છે એમાં સર બે સિગ્નલ આપેલા છે, તમારો ભીનો કચરો અને તમારો સૂકો કચરો. શું એવું કરીએ છીએ ખરા આપણે કે ભીનો કચરો ભીનામાં નાખીએ છીએ અને કોરો કચરો કોરામાં? આટલું બધું જ ગોઠવાયેલું છે એમ છતાં સિસ્ટમ ગોઠવાતી નથી. કેમ? તો એ પેઢી જેની સાથે આપણો ક્યાંક વેલો જોડાયેલો છે એને ભીનો કચરો ક્યાં નાખવા? એટલે આપણે ત્યાં એવું હતું મિત્રો કે જે ગાય ભેંસ એના જે ખાતર જે હતા, જે આપણને જે કૃત્રિમ રીતે આપણને ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક ઉપયોગી થતા કુદરતી ખાતર આપણે એને બનાવતા. તો એ કોન્સેપ્ટ તો આપણને આપણી પ્રાચીન પેઢીમાંથી મળીને આવેલો છે ને. અને અત્યારે ઘર આંગણે ફેસિલિટી છે કે ભાઈ ભીનો કચરો ભીનામાં નાખો અને કોરો કચરો કોરામાં નાખો. અને જે ભાઈ ગાડી લઈને ચલાવીને જઈ રહ્યો છે એ શું તમારા અને મારા જેટલો વેલ એજ્યુકેટેડ છે? એનું કામ શું છે કે ઊભો રહેશે, ડોર ટુ ડોર સર્વિસ આપે છે. અને એ આપણને જ્યારે શીખવે કે ભાઈ મને ટાઇટલ આપ્યું છે, મને બેગ આપ્યો છે કે તમે ભીનો કચરો ભીનામાં નાખો, કોરો કચરો કોરામાં નાખો, અને ત્યારે આપણે શરૂઆત કરીએ એ કેટલું યોગ્ય. એટલે મારું કદાચ 5 પેજ ની રજૂઆત છે, પણ હું ખૂબ ટૂંકમાં એટલા માટે કહેવા માંગુ છું કે વેદ, ઉપનિષદ, અથર્વવેદ, યજુર્વેદ, સામવેદ કે રામાયણ, મહાભારત, કોઈ પણ ગ્રંથને તમે જ્યારે ઓપન કરો છો, એના નીતિશાસ્ત્રના પાયાની અંદર એક જ વાત છે કે પર્યાવરણનું સંતુલન જાળવીએ. અને એના માટે શું કરીએ? તો જો અભણ માણસ જોડે બેસીએ ને ત્યારે ક્યારેય ડિપ્રેશનમાં નથી જવાતું, અને જેટલા વેલ એજ્યુકેટેડ વ્યક્તિઓ સાથે બેસીએ છીએ, રસ્તા મળે છે, ઉકેલ મળે છે, પણ પરિણામ મળતું નથી. મારે પરિણામ જોઈએ છે, મારે ઉકેલ જોઈએ છે, કારણ કે હું એના માટે પ્રયત્ન કરું છું. અહીંયાથી તમારામાંથી એક વિચાર લઈને જવા માંગુ છું કે જે મારું રિસર્ચ થઈ રહ્યું છે એમાં મને ખ્યાલ આવે કે હું આ લેવલ કરીશ તો આ પરિણામ મળશે. હું મારી પોતાની પર્સનલ સર વાત રજૂ કરું છું. દિવાળીમાં સર પેલા દીવા મળે છે, ડીમાર્ટમાં પર્ટિક્યુલરથી હું લાવું છું, મીણના દીવા, અને એની એક ધાતુની સીટ હોય છે. એ ધાતુની સીટ દીવો જ્યારે પ્રજ્વલિત થઈને જ્યારે ઓલવાય એ પછી એ સીટ એ કચરામાં આપણે ફેંકી દઈએ છીએ. કદાચ મને આ વિચાર એટલા માટે આવ્યો કે મેં પ્રયત્ન કર્યો અને હું સફળ થઈ, અને કદાચ કેટલા બધા મિત્રોને હું એની સાથે જોડી શકી છું. ઘરની જ્યાં જ્યાં બારી છે એ બારીઓમાં એ ધાતુની જે સીટ છે એની ઉપર એક થોડોક ફેવિકોલ લગાવી અને ત્યાં એમાં થોડાક દાણા મેં ભર્યા, અને 1 દિવસ 2 દિવસ, અત્યારે એવું છે સર કે લગભગ આખા દિવસમાં 2 વાર એ ડીશમાં મારે દાણા ભરવા પડે છે. અને એ ભરવાથી એવું છે કે પ્રકૃતિના ખોળામાં રહેલા જે પક્ષીઓ છે એ આંગણે સુધી આવતા થયા. અને એ જે બેલેન્સ છે, આપણે જોયું કે હવે ચકલીઓ લુપ્ત થવા માંડી છે, તો કેવી રીતે એને આપણે આપણું રજવાડું કેવી રીતે ભવ્ય બનાવી શકીશું? તો હું કદાચ કોઈ ડીશ એવી ભરીશ તો થશે. તો લગભગ એવું છે કે હવે ઘીના દીવા કરતાં બંધ થયા, તેલના દીવા કરતાં બંધ થયા, દિવાળીમાં દિવાળી તૈયાર આવતા મળ્યા, અને એનાથી આગળ જાઉં તો હવે આર્ટિફિશિયલ દીવા પણ પ્રગટેલા મળે છે, તમારે ખાલી સેલ જ નાખવાનું છે. જો ત્યાં સુધી આપણે ગયા છીએ. યસ સર, ઓકે સર, ઓકે સર.
એક ક્વેશ્ચન હતો.
જી સર.
તમે ગીતાની વાત કર્યા, સારા સર્ગ છે, તો એના પર તમે રિસર્ચ કર્યા છો કે ગીતાને માં કોણ સા સર્ગોમાં પર્યાવરણથી રિલેટેડ કોઈ વસ્તુ છે દીધી ગઈ છે? પુરાણોમાં તમે કીધા પણ મિક્સ થઈ ગયો છે, વેદ, મીમાંસા, ઉપનિષદ, એ બધાને માં પર્ટિક્યુલર કોઈ શ્લોક હશે. તો તમારો આર્ટિકલ તો સારો છે, પણ એકચ્યુઅલમાં રિસર્ચ નહીં આવી રહ્યો છે એમાં કે, તો એને માં કોઈ તમને અગર હો કોઈ પોઈન્ટ? ઓકે, ઠીક, થેન્ક યુ.
Next participant is Princey M. Prajapati from Gandhinagar University. Participant, please take care that you have 3 minutes only to speak.
मेरी बस छुट्टी हो गई।
ડાઉનલોડમાં તમારે કટ થઈ જાય છે PPT. હા તો સરનું મૂકી દે એમને ચાલુ કર માઇક ચાલુ કરો નીચે નીચે સ્ટાર્ટ.
Hello, very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, introduce to myself. My name is Princess Prajapati from the Gandhinagar Institute of Pharmacy, Gandhinagar University. Today, my topic is yoga and meditation, scientific perspective and global impact. So, first of all, introduction. યોગા એન્ડ મેડિટેશન એ આપણી લાઈફમાં એવું નથી કે અત્યારે આપણે ઘરે ઘરે બધા યોગા અને મેડિટેશન કરે છે. અત્યારે બહુ વધારે પડતું જ ચાલી રહ્યું છે આપણી લાઈફમાં, પણ એવું નથી. એ પહેલેથી જ આપણે ટ્રેડિશનલ છે કે જે હાલના દોરમાં પણ આપણે એને ઘરે ઘરે બધા યુઝ કરે છે. એમાંથી જે યોગ શબ્દ જે છે એ આપણને સંસ્કૃત વર્ડ યુજ પરથી મળી આવ્યો છે, જેને આપણે યુનિટ તરીકે ઓળખીએ છીએ. યોગની અંદર જો મારે એને પ્રોપર ડેફિનેશન આપવી હોય તો એને કેવી રીતે આપી શકું? તો યોગ જે છે એની અંદર આપણે એક કન્ડિશન એક પોઝિશન લઈને બેસવાનું છે, જેને આપણે આસન કહીએ છીએ. એમાં માઇન્ડ, સ્પિરિટ અને આપણું જે ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર છે એને એ ત્રણને જોડે રાખીને અને આપણે એને પોઝિશનમાં રહેવાનું છે, એને આસન કરવાનું છે. યોગની અંદર આપણે આપણી જે રેસ્પિરેટરી સિસ્ટમ છે એ પણ ઓલ ઓવર જેટલા બી બોડીના ઓર્ગન્સ છે કે જેટલી બી ડિસીઝ કન્ડિશન આપણે અત્યારે જોઈ રહ્યા છે લાઈફમાં વધી રહી છે, તો એને કંટ્રોલમાં લાવવાનું કામ યોગા અને મેડિટેશન કરી રહી છે, જેને આપણે ઇઝીલી યોગને પ્રાણાયામ કહીએ છીએ કે બ્રીથ ઇન એન્ડ બ્રીથ આઉટ તરીકે આપણે એને ઓળખીએ છીએ. સો યોગાની અંદર મેડિટેશન જે છે એની અંદર મેન્ટલ ક્લિયરિટી, આપણને કોઈ સોલ્યુશન કોઈ વસ્તુના ન મળતા હોય તો આપણે જો મેડિટેશન કરીએ છીએ યોગા સાથે, એઝ અ ખાલી કન્ડિશન છે કે તમારે શાંતિથી બેસવાનું છે. તમારા મગજમાં એવા કોઈ જ વિચારો નથી લાવવાના કે જેનાથી તમને તમારું જે બી સ્ટ્રેસ છે, ડિપ્રેશન છે કે જે કોઈ બી કન્ડિશનમાં તમે છો, એન્ઝાઇટી જેને અત્યારે વધારે પડતો આપણે વધારી લીધી છે અહીંયા, તો એને આપણે એ કોઈ જ વિચાર તમારા મગજમાં નથી લાવવાનું. મેન્ટલ ક્લિયરિટી મળે એની માટે આપણે મેડિટેશન અને યોગાનો યુઝ કરીએ છીએ. એ બંને એકબીજા સાથે કોરિલેટ છે, જોડાયેલા છે. એની અંદર અહીંયા એક એક્ઝામ્પલ છે, જેમ કે આપણી CNS સેન્ટ્રલ નર્વસ સિસ્ટમ છે, PNS છે બોડીની અંદર. સો માઇન્ડની અંદર બ્રેનમાં એ જે સિસ્ટમ છે એની અંદર જે ન્યુરો ટ્રાન્સમીટર છે કે જે ચેતાપ્રેક્ષકો જે છે એ ન્યુરો ટ્રાન્સમીટર એ હેલ્પ કરે છે. એને સાયન્ટિફિકલી પ્રૂફ થયેલું છે રિસર્ચ પેપરની અંદર 2024-2025ની અંદર. તો આપણા જે ન્યુરો ટ્રાન્સમીટર જે છે એ ઇઝીલી એક્ટિવ કરે છે. મેડિટેશન જો આપણે કરીએ છીએ તો ન્યુરો ટ્રાન્સમીટર જે છે બોડીની અંદરના એ હાઈલી એક્ટિવ થઈ જાય છે અને આપણી જે એન્ઝાઇટી જે છે એને દૂર કરવામાં હેલ્પ કરે છે. ડિપ્રેશનને દૂર કરવામાં, સ્ટ્રેસ રિલેટેડ આપણને જો સ્લીપ ડિસ્ટર્બન્સ આવે છે તો એને પણ દૂર કરવામાં એ હેલ્પ કરી રહ્યું છે મેડિટેશન, અને સાયન્ટિફિકલી રિસર્ચમાં પ્રૂફ થયેલું છે. અને હાલની જનરેશનમાં એનું રિસર્ચ થોડું હાઈ લેવલમાં થઈ રહ્યું છે, કેમ કે અત્યારે સ્ટ્રેસ, ડિપ્રેશન અને સ્લીપ ડિસ્ટર્બન્સને બધા જે ડિસીઝ છે વધારે પડતા વધી ગયા છે, તો એને રિલીઝ કરવામાં એ હેલ્પ કરે છે. દેન ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂ, તો યોગા જે છે એ પ્રેક્ટિસ ટુ ફોકસિંગ ઓન ધી હાર્મોની બિટવીન ધી માઇન્ડ, બોડી એન્ડ સ્પિરિટ, એ ત્રણને સાથે લઈને આપણે આસન કરવાનું છે. પ્રાણાયામ બ્રીથિંગ એન્ડ બ્રીથ આઉટ કરવાનું છે. એની સાથે મેડિટેશન એટલે કે મેન્ટલ ક્લિયરિટી આપણને થાય કે મારે કયો ગોલ અચીવ કરવો છે, મારે લાઈફમાં આગળ શું કરવાનું છે, એ બધી જ સાયન્ટિફિકલી અહીંયા આપણને વસ્તુ મળી રહે છે. એના પછી છે મારા કી એસ્પેક્ટ્સ ઓફ ધી WHO વ્યૂ ઓન ધી યોગા. WHO એટલે કે વર્લ્ડ હેલ્થ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશન એવું જોવે છે કે વ્યૂઝ ઓન ધી યોગા, ટ્રેડિશનલ થેરાપ્યુટિક સિસ્ટમ એન્ડ ધી ફિઝિકલ
can you please
Yes.
come to the research part of your paper?
Okay.
Because you are narrating the theoretical part
Huh.
that we already know.
Okay. तो WHO views World Health Organization VOC yoga. So first of all, divide into four types: holistic approach, stress management, physical activity, and integration. હોલિસ્ટિક અપ્રોચની અંદર પોતાના જે સ્વાસ્થ્ય રિલેટેડ જે બી છે એને પોતાને સાથે રાખવાનું છે કે આપણી બોડીમાં કઈ કન્ડિશન થઈ રહી છે એ જાતે જ આપણને ખબર પડવા લાગશે એની અંદર. દેન સેકન્ડ વન ઇઝ અ ફિઝિકલ એક્ટિવિટી. તો તમારે ફિઝિકલ કોઈને કોઈ કોઈ બી કાર્ય તમારે કરવાનું છે. તમે કોઈ ઘરકામ કરો છો, જોગિંગ કરો છો, જે તમારું છે એને તમારે કાર્યરત રાખવાનું છે. તમને સ્ટ્રેસ મેનેજ કરતાં આવડી જશે. જો તમે યોગા અને મેડિટેશન કરશો તો સ્ટ્રેસને કેવી રીતે રિલીવ કરવું છે એ પણ આપણને ખબર પડશે અહીંયા. દેન ઇન્ટિગ્રેશન, કે આપણો શું મેઇન પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂ છે એની પર આપણને અહીંયા ધ્યાન આવશે. Then there are two types of the yoga. First is a philosophical distribution of yoga and second one is a modern distribution of yoga. Philosophical yoga ની અંદર આપણે
Once again, I request you, please come to the practical part of your project, your research. You are narrating only theory. This all almost know. Conclusion. Please conclude.
ઓકે, તો લાસ્ટમાં કન્ક્લુઝન એવું મળે છે કે હાલ જે રિસર્ચ થઈ રહ્યું છે હજુ બી ક્યાંક ના ક્યાંક સ્ટ્રેસ અને ડિપ્રેશન જે છે, એન્ઝાઇટી છે, સ્લીપ ડિસ્ટર્બન્સ છે, એની સાથે આપણું બ્લડ પ્રેશરને રેગ્યુલેશન કરવાનું કામ પણ યોગા અને મેડિટેશન ઇઝીલી કરે છે. રેસ્પિરેટરી સિસ્ટમ પાછી અને રેગ્યુલેટ કરવામાં એ હેલ્પ કરી રહી છે આપણને. અત્યારે એની ઉપર ઘણા બધા રિસર્ચર્સ ચાલી રહ્યા છે અને લાસ્ટમાં એ રિસર્ચ સાયન્ટિફિકલી પ્રૂફ થશે કે આને કેવી રીતે દૂર કરવાનું છે. તો એ રિસર્ચ પર આગળ અત્યારે વધારે પડતું કામ ચાલી રહ્યું છે કે યોગા મેડિટેશન સાથે કોઈ રિલેટેડ છે કે નહીં એ રીતે.
Now my question is that how you correlate yoga and meditation?
તો યોગા એક કન્ડિશન છે કે જેમાં આપણે એક ખાલી પોઝિશન લઈને પોસ્ચર લઈને બેસવાનું છે અને એને આપણે મેડિટેશન એવી કન્ડિશન છે કે જેમાં આપણા જે કોઈ બી મગજમાં કોઈ વસ્તુ નથી રાખવાની. ઓનલી ફોર તમારો જે ગોલ છે એને તમારું મેન્ટલ ક્લિયરિટી મળી રહે એને તમારે ધ્યાનમાં રાખવાનું છે. તો ઓલ ઓવર એ મેડિટેશન અને યોગા આ રીતે એકબીજા સાથે કોરિલેટ કરી શકીએ છીએ આપણે.
Okay, so definitely it is beneficial for the well-being of the people. Okay.
Yes.
So why many meditation center or yogic center commercializing these practices? Because it is ancient practice.
Yes.
This is ancient knowledge.
Yes.
So why they commercialize? Because now I had found that many organizations charge highly, something like 40,000, 50,000 rupees, 5 days program, 10 days program. Why they commercialize? If it is beneficial for the health of the people, then they should not commercialize. This is ancient technique. This is ancient Indian technique, no?
Yes, Indian technique.
So why they commercialize it? Because I had found the many organizations, like I don't want to name a few of the organizations, but they charge high amount, means it is huge amount. Means. Why they commercialize it? And what is your contribution to commercialize it? Because your research should be on this.
Yes.
Because it is IKS, Indian knowledge system. Yoga is an Indian knowledge system. Meditation is an Indian knowledge system. So I think we need to use it for the beneficial of the common people, common man.
Yes.
It should be free for all.
Yes.
What I am saying.
Yes, I
Do you agree with
understand.
this?
Yes.
Okay. So so I think your research should be on this. Okay, why we should not commercialize this practice, this technique, and it should be served for the common cause of the people. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you are right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the session will be chaired by. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gautam sir, and thank you, Aryan sir, for your valuable time. Now the session will be chaired by Dr. Seema Geda, and session coordinator will be Dr. Gaurav Binawal. Next participant is Waghela Shwetaba Jagdish Singh, Gandhinagar University.
બીજી પીપીટી આવી છે?
Please give the PPTs
फर्स्ट आ गई
so that it can be presented in the sequence.
आपके पास है ना सीक्वेंस, इसके हिसाब से बोल दो ना।
सर जैसे आएगा वैसे
नेम क्या है?
8th number will be Yadav Achal Santosh, and on 9th number Dr. Prajna G, Arihant Ayurvedic Medical College.
2 मिनट पीपीटी ले
नाम क्या है?
एक मिनट पीपीटी ले लो, मैं आपको बाद में पीपीटी
मेरा तो
मेल किया हुआ है, दिखा दो ना। 2 मिनट बैठो ना।
वही
मैं 2 मिनट के लिए वो सामने का डोंगल हटा के उसमें लगा दूँ।
इसका 11th number अभी 7 ही चल रहा है।
पीपीटी मेल किया उनको दिखा दो आप लोग को।
You detach it from that. You can detach it from that. She can continue.
पीपीटी तो लोग कर दिया। तुम्हारा नाम लिख दो।
अभी 7वां चल रहा है।
मैडम आपको दिया 9 नंबर याद है? नंबर बोल देना वो तो सीक्वेंस में वो करते हैं। IKS में सर जो पेपर है पायलट वो सबमिशन कब करना है? जैसे मैं राकेश तो मैंने आपको मेल किया होगा चेक कर लेना। हाँ?
चिल्ले कर दे
थोड़ी देखो
Good evening. Myself Shweta Wadila, and I am a PhD student of Gandhinagar University from the Department of Microbiology. Today I am presenting the topic the invisible microbes that shape human life based on the ancient tradition to modern science.
Actually, pen drive bag and bag.
So here we can see that during the ancient time, people also ferment the food, make the medicines without the knowledge of microorganisms, without the knowledge of preservation. They preserve the food, and after that, discovery of microorganisms by the father of microbiology, Anthony von Leeuwenhoek, who made the first microscope. After that, between the 19th and 20th century, we have the germ theory of disease, and vaccines are also developed. And now in the modern era, we have the biotechnology and genetic engineering. By using this, we can make genetically modified plants and crops which help the humans. The main objectives are to understand the role of microorganisms in Asian tradition. The second one is to explain the transition from traditional practices to modern sciences and to highlight the importance of microbe in human life. मतलब कि पहले के टाइम पे भी लोग फूड फर्मेंट करते थे, प्रिजर्वेशन करते थे, बट उनको ये पता नहीं था कि ये जो हो रहा है वो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स की वजह से हो रहा है। जो ट्रेडिशनल प्रैक्टिसेस थी वो लोग फॉलो करते थे, बट जो मॉडर्न साइंस है उन्होंने उसके थ्रू हमको ये पता चला कि देयर आर द माइक्रोब्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ऑल ऑफ दिस. Microbes are tiny living forms जो हम which can't be seen from naked eyes, but they have maintained the life on Earth. Here Asian tradition में जो fermentation था वो भी होता था, but unknowingly they made a curd, yogurt, bread, idli, dosa. Right now we know the fermentation, like if we want to make a curd, we know the lactobacillus are responsible for that. If we want to bread, yeast is used, idli, dosa. Ayurveda and traditional medicines also are made at ancient time. They use ginger, tulsi, neem, turmeric. नेचुरल फूड प्रिजर्वेशन वो लोग करते थे, जैसे कि वो लोग ऑयल यूज़ करते थे प्रिजर्वेशन के लिए, स्मोकिंग यूज़ करते थे, पिकल्स बनाते थे, शुगरिंग होता था उसके अंदर, ड्राइंग जो अभी के टाइम पे भी हो रहा है कि वो जो हम पापड़ और वो सब बनाते हैं वो ड्राइंग प्रोसेस से ही बनता है. फ्रॉम एंशियंट बिलीफ टू साइंटिफिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग। वो लोग प्रैक्टिस बेस के ऊपर वो लोग काम करते थे कि प्रैक्टिस इज बेस्ड ऑन ऑब्जर्वेशन एंड एक्सपीरियंस। वो एक्सपीरियंस के थ्रू वो लोग वो खाना और वो सब बनाते थे विदाउट द नॉलेज ऑफ माइक्रोब्स और एंजाइम प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय माइक्रोब्स विच इज responsible for the fermentation and antibiotic. Science later explained why this practice is, but मॉडर्न साइंस के अंदर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म जो है उसकी डिस्कवरी की वजह से हम कौन कौन से डिजीज़ है उसका कॉजेज़ क्या है वो हेल्प करता है ह्यूमंस को कंट्रोल फर्मेंटेशन। ट्रेडिशनल फर्मेंटेशन के अलावा अभी के टाइम पे जो फर्मेंटेशन होता है वो साइंटिफिकली कंट्रोल होता है जिससे फूड की क्वालिटी इंप्रूव हो सके, उसका सेफ्टी और प्रोडक्शन भी अच्छे से हो सके। एंटीबायोटिक्स एंड वैक्सीन्स जो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स की हेल्प से हम बनाते हैं, जैसे कि द फर्स्ट एंटीबायोटिक वॉज पेनिसिलिन, उसके बाद भी स्ट्रेप्टोमाइसिन, सेफेलोस्पोरिन, बहुत सारी एंटीबायोटिक्स विद द हेल्प ऑफ माइक्रोब्स हमने बनाई है। वैक्सीन्स आर डेवलप्ड यूजिंग द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स and biotechnology and genetic engineering. Today microbes are used as a tool in biotechnology to develop medicines जिसको हम genetically engineer करके बना सकते हैं, enzymes and advanced technology. Role of microorganisms in human life. तो ह्यूमन हेल्थ की हम बात करें अगर तो गट माइक्रोबायोम जो नॉन पैथोजेनिक इकोलाई है वो हमें हेल्प करती है एडिंग द डाइजेशन एंड इट ऑल्सो प्रोवाइड विटामिन के। एग्रीकल्चर के अंदर नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन जो राइजोबियम बैक्टीरिया वो हेल्प करते हैं। इन्वायरमेंट के अंदर वेस्ट वाटर ट्रीटमेंट हम कर सकते हैं। उसके अलावा बायो रेमेडिएशन जो अभी का कंसेप्ट है उसके अंदर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर यूज टू ट्रीट द पॉल्यूटेंट्स। इंडस्ट्री और मेडिसिन के अंदर वी आर यूजिंग द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स टू प्रोड्यूस सर्टेन टाइप्स ऑफ मेडिसिन एंड इन अ फूड इंडस्ट्री वी आर यूजिंग माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म टू प्रोड्यूस अ फर्मेंटेड फूड। इन अ liquor industry, wine, beer also are made up from the using the microorganisms. What are the challenges? So recently we are facing the antibiotic resistance. Too much of use of antibiotics has made many microbes stronger. क्योंकि अगर थोड़ा भी अगर फ्लू और फीवर होता है तो लोग एंटीबायोटिक ले लेते हैं, तो उससे क्या होता है कि जो ऑर्गेनिजम्स है उसने एक रेजिस्टेंस मैकेनिज्म डेवलप कर दिया है। उसके बाद है एक इमर्जिंग डिजीज, न्यू डिजीज है जो अपीयर हो रहे हैं अगेन एंड अगेन। सस्टेनेबल माइक्रोबियल सॉल्यूशन, इफ़ वी आर यूजिंग अ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म इन अ सेफ वे तो उसके वजह से हम ह्यूमन लाइफ को, ह्यूमन हेल्थ को और इन्वायरमेंट को प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। फ्यूचर रिसर्च इंपॉर्टेंट, ये जो रिसर्च है वो कंटिन्यू होना चाहिए माइक्रोब्स के ऊपर, तो उसकी वजह से हम बेटर और ट्रीटमेंट दे सकें, फ्यूचर के लिए सस्टेनेबल सॉल्यूशंस दे सकें।
It was a good presentation. One observation, you say earlier people were having the knowledge and now also people have the knowledge. So what is the specific difference?
पहले वो जैसे कि हम घर पे ढोकला इडली जो सब बनाते हैं,
Yes.
जैसे कि मेरी मम्मी को नॉलेज नहीं है कि उसके अंदर कौन से माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म,
But still they were using.
Yes.
So now with knowledge, what difference it has made?
We can control that fermentation. How much time it is take to ferment that batter?
Okay, better use. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, my question is that your study is more of science than to be over banner like ancient traditions to modern science. It is more of a scientific study. My perspective is thing. My question is, you did not mention any terms of fermentation. Like you more talked about microbiology and those processes.
There are two types of.
Please let me complete my question. More of your studies about science. Firstly, second, no terms of fermentation have been mentioned as in terms of ancient times. So, would you like to speak on that?
Fermentations are two types: acidic fermentation and alcoholic fermentation.
What was it called in ancient times? Like fermentation is a modern and scientific word. what was it called? Like Madam has a valid point that during that time they did not know that it is it is not it's fermentation or it is caused because of microbes or microbiology. They didn't know this. But even that time they were using this. So what was those ancient terms that they used to mention or speak with each other, like I am doing this is known by this is known by this. What like you call fermentation?
जैसे गुजराती में तो बोलता है कि फर्मेंटेशन अगर हो गया है तो गुजराती में बोलता है कि उसका आथमण हो गया है, वैसे वो बोलते थे।
ऐसे ये एंशिएंट टर्म्स का ये मेरा क्वेश्चन। अगर आप ऐसे टर्म्स को स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन करेंगे तो विल कम आउट मोर ऑफ अ रिसर्च पेपर एज अ कंपैरेटिव देन ओनली स्पीकिंग ऑन माइक्रोबायोलॉजी।
Our next participant is Pragya Ji, Arihant Ayurvedic Medical College.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Pragya from Arihant Ayurvedic Medical College from the Department of Dravina. Our topic name is Application of Nutrigenomics in Ayurvedic Pediatrics. These are my points